Hi, I'm Tom Sommers with Edina Realty. Today I'd like to focus on selling your home. If you're someone who's considering getting into the real estate market and listing your home for sale this year, as you know, there's a lot of things you need to do to prepare for this particular event. One of them is going through and speaking with different listing agents to try to find a realtor who's going to represent you in the marketing and sale of your home. There's a lot of different questions that you should be asking these potential listing agents, but I thought I would put a list together of the top 5 most important questions that you should be asking. And the idea behind this is to help you get a feel for what that agent is about, what their philosophies are, how they do business, and how they're going to list and sell your home. So let's go through the questions. The first one, which would be, how do you plan to market my home versus other agents? What you're looking to get out of this particular question is a feel for that agent's skill level and ability to get homes sold and how they market those houses. You want to know, are they tech savvy? Do they understand social media? Are they working with video? Are they doing all of these different out-of-the-box type things to promote your listing? Because as technology advances, so do the buyers, and we have to, as real estate agents, keep up with all those changes, and we need to figure out, okay, which ones have value, which ones do not. And so you want to work with someone who's on the cutting edge, that has a really good sound basis of traditional real estate, but at the same time is not afraid of technology and following through with buyers in different ways. So you want to hear, are you doing a lot of open houses, or do you work on the internet? And if you do, what type of websites do you have? Let them just talk to you to tell you what their philosophy is. I personally am someone who has a system. It's a 90+ point marketing plan that's designed to get your home sold. I've had a very successful track record over the last 10 years of being a licensed agent, and a lot of it is due to my skills as a negotiator, as well as a tech person in marketing your home, but it's also the fact that I keep everything lined up in a system, so I'm able to work that system to make sure that all tasks are completed. I think the more organized a listing agent is, the better outcome you will have when it comes to selling your house. There's so many things coming at you as a listing agent on a daily basis. It's very hard to keep up with everything unless you have a system. The second question I would ask is, how long have you been a licensed agent, and are you full-time? This is a really important piece because you need a full-time professional real estate agent. You can't hire someone that is a part-timer. They can't effectively sell your home when they're working a full-time job somewhere else, because a buyer is going to call and they're going to want to see that house today. And if you can't get back to them and get them into that house, they'll just move on to somebody else. So you want to make sure that they're following up and that they're marketing your home on a daily basis so that you know that something is being done to get your home sold. Third question would be, what's your definition of full service? The reason I added this one is it seems like this is a term that gets thrown around a lot very loosely in our industry, and it means 100 different types of things to 100 different people. So what you're looking for in an answer is what is your full service? What do you define that term to be? Full service to me is being with you at the beginning all the way through to the end when we're handing you the check at the end of closing. But there's a lot of things in the middle of that break down to the marketing as well as the negotiations and then the follow-up, meaning that my job as a listing agent isn't just to market your home and help you get a purchase agreement. It's also that of a liaison to the loan officer for the buyer, the buyer's agent, and then both title companies as well. It's my job to make sure that everyone's getting the paperwork that they need so that this house closes on time without issue. There's a lot of agents who think that as soon as they have a purchase agreement, well, somehow their job is done because they just turn in the file and magically, poof, it just works out. And that's just simply not the case. So you're looking for someone who has the skill level to make sure that they're with you from beginning to end. The next question would be, after the first 30 days, what's next? How do you keep the listing fresh? This may sound like an odd question, but this one is the one that stumps most real estate agents because they've got just so many things that they're going to do for you. And then after the first 30 days, they typically have done everything they can do. So then at that point, what's left? A lot of agents will try to get you to lower your price. Maybe that's important, maybe it's not. But if you're someone who has a home where you're getting a couple showings a week, but your percentages are correct through marketing and watching all of your numbers and doing your analytics as a listing agent, you'll see that, okay, well, 2 a week is actually really good because we're getting X number of hits per week on the different websites, so my percentages are good. So if your percentages are in line, then that's just telling you that you're maybe in a market where you don't have as many buyers versus another market where they could have 3 times as many buyers and should expect 3 times the number of showings. So before they start beating you up on the price or telling you need to reduce your price, you're going to want them to prove it to you, because all it's going to turn into is a race to the bottom. And there's a lot of different things after the first 30 days that I can do as a listing agent to keep your listing fresh. I can keep going for months and months on end. I've got a whole list. Like I said, it's a 90+ marketing plan that has a lot of repetition in it after the fact, because there's a lot of follow-up and there's a lot of different things that I need to keep correcting and changing and looking at throughout your listing. A lot of agents, they put it up on the MLS and they do a couple of open houses, and then that's pretty much it. So you get what you pay for, and you better be really careful who you hire. Make sure it's the right person for you. Make sure that they're the right fit. And lastly, I would ask, what commission percentage do you charge, and how much does that go to the buyer broker agent? So everyone's going to ask the question, what commission do you charge? Okay. The bigger question is of that commission, how much of that percentage is going to go to the buyer broker agent? Meaning that if you have a percentage of commission that you're paying out to sell your house, a certain percentage of that is going to go to the buyer agent as an enticement to bring the buyer through, and that's how they earn their paycheck as well. So you want to make sure that you know the percentages and you know how much is being paid out, because you don't want someone to come in and say, okay, we'll list it for a really cheap fee, and then you come to find out that they're not offering anything out to the buyer agent. So make sure you know your numbers. Now, if you don't want the buyer agent to earn any money, that's fine. That's your choice, but at least it's your choice. It wasn't decided for you. If you're in the Twin Cities metropolitan area and you're curious about what your home is worth, I have a website that you can go to. It's called thehousewidget.com. So just go to www.thehousewidget.com and type in your information, and I'll follow up with you, and I will give you market information about your area, your neighborhood, as well as specific information about your home. I hope this helps. Best of luck to you, and I hope to hear from you soon.